What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I got a little bit of a new mic, a nice little setup over here. So I was like, let me put it to use. Let me make some more YouTube videos. Let me put on some extra content. Let me guys know in the comments, how does the mic sound? I feel all professional here. I feel like I'm running like some kind of radio show now. The Small Players Big Games radio show. That's not a bad podcast name. So be looking out for that. Might be coming out soon. Who knows? I might just give myself a great idea here. But hey, welcome back to another video. Into this video, we're going to be talking crypto. We haven't talked crypto in a little bit. And if you're now seeing my Bitcoin video, which I made now over a month ago, everything is still kind of applies. Everything is being still, nothing really much has changed. But I'm here. I want to answer a question I get asked every day. A question that you guys probably have, or maybe even ask me. Maybe you're those people that ask me, how would you invest $1,000 into crypto? I'll be answering today's question, so make sure you watch all the videos. I'll giving you some cryptos that I will be personally purchasing if I only had $1,000. The ones that I will go after. I'll be sharing those in today's video. So make sure you hit the like, subscribe down below, comment about the new mic, the new setup, and let's get straight into the videos. Before I get into answering some questions, I really need to talk about, we need to talk about if you have $1,000, it's just not a lot of money. Now, if I have $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000, I will be investing way differently. If I had $100,000 compared to if I only had $1,000. Why? Because a lot of things with crypto is diversification, buying different coins. You might invest in 5 coins, one does really well, the other 4 don't do as well. But because you 10x the one coin, offsets the losses on the other 4 coins. Now, you don't have that luxury if you only have $1,000. And if you have $1,000, you gotta be a little more risky. And today's video, we're not gonna be talking about any trading, any TA. Because if you have $1,000, personally, what I would do, if I only had $1,000, I'll learn the technical analysis, I'll learn to read the charts, and I would trade with it to grow my account. But for a beginner, if you only probably have $1,000, you can't do that. Now, if you do want to do that, I have a whole bunch of videos on technical analysis. Go watch those on the channel. Even if they're related to the stock market, same principles apply. The same patterns still apply in the crypto, very similar, so you can still apply to those. So if you are interested in the trading, go watch those videos, then come back to this one. In today's video, we're just gonna simply talk about a long-term investing style, us holding a coin for maybe 3 to 5 years, a couple of years at the very least. So we have the mindset of being a fundamentals analysis, thinking about which coin is most likely to survive compared to other coins. And it's all about survival of the fittest. And some things, if you're not sure on how to do fundamentals analysis on cryptos, if I give you some words of advice, would be read the whitelist papers. What is the whitelist papers? It's what is the purpose of the coin? Why was it created? What does it do? How does it help the ecosystem? What kind of value does it provide? Is it a good coin? Is it a scam coin? Is it a poo-poo coin? All those type of things. You'll find those in the whitelist papers. It's probably boring for most of you guys to read. But if you do want to get into crypto, you gotta get familiar with reading and understanding coins, tokenomics. Is there an infinite supply of a coin? Usually it's not too good. How much coin does it burn every single day? The supply. Is it proof of stake? Is it proof of work? What does it do? You gotta understand all of the things. And another huge thing is the team behind it. Is it a team that you can trust? Is it a team that, for example, Cardano, ex-co-founder of Ethereum, a lot of people trust that. Why? Because Ethereum is doing so well. So of course, they're gonna trust that team. While if you get a team that might have done some shady stuff, which we saw recently with some coins that we're not talk about, to get dumped on, you might not want to invest in that coin long term, because most likely if they've done shady stuff once, with such likelihood they're going to do it again, highly. So you gotta watch out for those things. Those are some of the things you want to look at when looking at fundamentals. Now let's get into the portfolio. If you had $1,000, how would I invest them? Here, have a circle. I'll tell you why do you have a circle, because we're gonna try to explain this in terms of a pie, in terms of how would I allocate this. And I'm gonna show you a few different portfolio examples or samples that I will go after. I explain a little bit of background on those portfolios, and I explain which portfolio makes more sense for you, because a lot of people are different investors. Some people want to be much safer. Some people want to be much more aggressive. For me personally, guys, if I only had $1,000, I would not buy Bitcoin. you're like, wow, Antonio, why would you not buy Bitcoin? The OG. A lot of people only want to buy Bitcoin because, in my opinion, if you buy Bitcoin and you invest $1,000 in Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, the $1,000 only becomes $25,000. There's just not enough money for me to make sense to invest that money, because if I have $1,000, I want to make a whole lot more money. I'm not making more than $25,000. So I'm not going to be buying Bitcoin. I'm sorry. So if I had a portfolio, I will first split this portfolio. Let's imagine it's our $1,000 right here. And I will go with 50% in Ether. Wow, Antonio. So you're going to choose Ethereum over Bitcoin. Yes, I think Ethereum has a lot more upside. I think if Bitcoin were to hit $1 million, most likely Ethereum will hit $100,000, which would be about 10% of the value of Bitcoin. And like I said, I'm talking about this in the next 5 to 10 years, potentially. Remember, we're talking long-term investing portfolio. So I think that Ethereum being at 3,000 offers, it has a potential making me $97,000 versus if Bitcoin is $1 million at the price it's at right now, which is around $43,000, it'd be maybe around $25,000. Just the math doesn't make sense to me. If you buy $1,000 of Bitcoin, it's 1/44. If you buy $1,000 of Ethereum right now, it's about 1/3. $500. If we put $500, we're using an example, would be 1/6 of Ethereum. The math makes more sense to me. Well, it would be 1/88 of Bitcoin. The risk reward isn't there for me. If you have $1,000, and remember, if this is me being more risky. If I have $1,000, I need to be more risky. I can't play safe with $100,000 because I got no money. I got risky for the biscuit. If you got no money, most likely, you gotta risk more because you to be able to make more money. And my advice also there is with you guys: if you don't have $1,000, try to learn only one thing. It's a good portfolio. For example, for me, about 5 to 15% of my net worth is in crypto. The other is in the stock market, real estate, different businesses, and so on and so on. I try to keep it diversified. But let's say, I made all my money trading stocks, and then I took that money and I expanded into real estate and all these other things. If you're not in that part yet, you have no money, I recommend you stick to one thing. For example, stick to crypto, understand crypto, make money, take the money, and then diversify into other, ventures, avenues, portfolios, stocks, dividends, real estate, Airbnb, cars, I don't know, all the other stuff. Because yes, cars, even my Rolex watches, about a few Rolex watches went up in value. Those are of course going to be investments. So later on project, Ethereum, I'll put $500 into that. Now I would invest about 25%, I'll say about 20% of this rest of the 50% in projects such as Crypto.com or Binance. There's also some other ones out there, but you would either be BNB, because these are infrastructures for crypto, right? And nothing is better than having a coin for an exchange. And personally, I think the higher risk to reward would be the CRO coin, so that'd be probably my number one pick, and my second pick would be BNB. Either one of these picks, I think they're both good picks, and you can't really go wrong with either one of those. Now, since we are on the topic of infrastructures, another one I would have to go for is some Web3 plays. So probably the other half, we'll take the 25% of this 50%, and we'll get another 25% of this 50%. So it leaves us with the last. With the last 50% here, but in this other 25%, so 50% here, this is 50% in Ether, then we're left with 50%, and we're doing, of that 50%, we're going to be doing CRO or BNB. Personally, CRO I think has a better risk to reward. BNB is not a bad option, but you probably have a safer, but probably less risk. Then here I will go with the Web3 player. One of my favorite Web3 players is Link. If you're not familiar with Link, they're doing a lot of great things. I think they're going to be huge in Web3. I think they're going to be a big player in just when Bitcoin's going to run. I think Link's going to have another huge run. They have a really great team behind them. They've been around for some time now. I They keep pushing. They keep coming out with new stuff. You know, they're gonna be able to make different blockchains talk to each other. It's gonna be a major player, especially if you are a software developer on Web3. You really love Chainlink. For that reason, supports pretty much the whole blockchain. I'm gonna have to go with about 25% of the other 50%. So the 25% in CRO BNB, the other 25% of that it will be into Link. And it, like I said, Web3 player. Now there's a few other Web3 players you can go for. Personally, for me, I think Link would be the best player, and I think Lop has one of the best risk to reward. It's also cheap. You know, it's about $17, so you'll be able to buy more. Zero is about 40 cents. BNB is a couple $400. Ethereum is 3,000. And you know, don't fall victim of unit bias. Like, don't think just because I can afford 10,000 Shiba, that's better than owning 0.02 Ether, which is not true at all. You know, the numbers just means the market cap doesn't really mean anything. If you own one Shiba or a million Shibas, they're all, you know, worthless. You know, don't fall in that unit bias. Now for the last pie down here, what do you guys think it's going to be? It's going to have to be, for me, another a coin that I really like, which I think is really going to bridge that centralization versus decentralized world, and it's going to be a huge player, especially if big money gets into the market, big companies, Microsoft, Apple's, Facebook. I know they're doing a little Metaverse thing, but all those big companies, they're gonna need a bridge because they don't want it to be fully decentralized. So they're gonna need a bridge between the centralized and the decentralized world, and that is gonna be HBAR for me. So I'll hold HBAR. There'll be the other ones that will hold. Like I said, really high good risk to reward. And also really high potential. So for right now, we have Ether, Zero, BNB, Link, HBAR. Now I think they're all interchangeable. You can get rid of some, you can add something else. So let's talk about some other coins that I think have really high potential. You could get rid of Ethereum. You know, you could get rid of Ethereum here on the layer 1. You could have some other different layer 1s. You could add Solana. Really like Solana. You could do that. You could add some AVAX. You can add Luna. I think Luna has a really high potential, and it's been one that I've been really stacking up a lot of, and really has been one of the coins that have been outperforming the rest of the market as of recently. So you could totally throw Luna in there. You know, even if you wanna slash this Ether in half and add, you know, one of these projects for the other 25% or 50% of Ether, that's a possibility here. You have Solana, you have Luna, Ether, AVAX, some other options out there. Now let's talk about some other ones that we could replace, some other ones that we could add. You know, maybe you have $1,500 other than 1,000, so you could splash a little more cash. Which ones would I go for? Another one that I like to add, you know, I would like to hold some of, you know, like I said, if you wanna spread around the love, will be Polkadot, you know, multi-chain blockchain system. You know, Polkadot is another one that offers a lot of utility to the blockchain network. There's a lot of projects built with the Polkadot ecosystem, and I think it's a big player as well. You could use this. You could use DOT to replace one of the CRO and BNB if you like. I do think the CRO and BNB and having a coin that for the brokerage is a big deal. I do think CRO and BNB are not going to go anywhere, especially CRO. You know, they've been really pumping with a lot of their marketing. You see them probably everywhere. I know they signed a deal with the World Cup as well. So I do think that has a place in their portfolio. But remember, you only have $1,000, so you got to be selective with them. I'm just giving you guys a few options now. I want you guys to go out there, find out which ones you like the most, which ones, you know, make sense the most for you, you believe in more, and go with those. Another one that we could be adding, not something I'm a huge fan of, but it could be XRP, you know, a little higher risk play. You can allocate about $100 to XRP. You know, if the lawsuit does come quite positive, could be really good for XRP. So it could be a play out there. You could add some XRP there for a higher risk play. Definitely can, you know, could see a high pump, especially if the lawsuit does go well. If it doesn't, probably not. But there's a huge community there for XRP, which, you know, having a strong community in a crypto project is usually a really good sign. And it is a sign that you you want to keep in consideration. XRP is probably the 4th highest market cap right now. So the community is definitely behind it, could have a really good potential. And lastly, let's talk about the Metaverse project. You could allocate another small percent. You could replace the Web3 projects to Metaverse projects. And for that one, my favorite one would be ENJ. Engine coin, I think that has the most utility and is the most unique coin. You know, a lot of this, the Decentraland mana, I think could easily be put out by, let's say, the Roblox or Minecraft to get into the Metaverse. To put them out pretty easily. So I would personally think that ENJ would be the coin I'll go for if I was trying to get into the Metaverse. So for me to be layer 1, 50%, which would be Ethereum. Then I would throw myself into some Zero, BNB, even the FTX coin could be decent. Qcoin, the Qcoin coin could be decent. Then I'll go with some Web3, with Link, and then some HBAR, personally. Now, you could get rid of Ethereum, or you could split the Ethereum to $500 for Ethereum, throw some of that $250 into Luna, Solana, AVAX, DOT, maybe throw it in some XRP if you want to like feel a little more higher risky. You could throw in some Metaverse, go with ENJ. If you really want it, you could go in and throw in Mana as well. Personally, I don't think I would, but those are going to be like the main coins that I'll be looking at. If it's being a $1,000 portfolio that I plan to hold for long term. Like I said, it's long term based only, and I don't plan to trade this. I don't know anything about the market, about crypto. I just want to throw some money in somewhere to diversify a little bit. Those are the ones I would go for. You know, minimum hold, couple of years. Those are the ones that I would go for. Let me know in the comments below. Which one would you go for? If you had $1,000, where would you invest it? Which coins are your favorites? Do you like the ones I picked out? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.